Our last demonstration will be about creating a batch file. As I said before, I'm going to provide this bonus session about how to create a batch file. Batch file is very important. Why? Because in case you want to run a certain automation, what happened now is that we are running first the Uipath, and then on the top of Uipath, we are running the automation. Now let us assume that you don't want to run Uipath. Is there any way to run the automation without running the Uipath? The answer is yes. So now we are going to see how to create a batch file which can run by just clicking on it, and then after that it will work immediately. For your information, we need three main components or three main elements to make this successful. The first one is something we call it Uipath robot. Uipath robot is actually one of the elements or one of the components of Uipath to execute an automation. Uipath is actually divided into three components. The first component is Uipath Studio, which is the tool which we've been using since the beginning. That is Uipath Studio, where we can create and design our automation. The second element or the second component is UI robot. So Uipath robot is actually what is going to handle the execution. So after I create and I design my automation, I want to execute it. To execute it, I need the Uipath robot. Even if you are going to use any programming environment, usually you need to write the program and you need to execute. Here also same, we write our program or we design our automation using Uipath Studio, and to execute it we need Uipath robot. The third component is orchestrator. In Uipath orchestrator, it's actually giving us the option to run a certain automation remotely, and we can also schedule any kind of automation. So these are the components which we have in Uipath. So to create a batch file, I need the Uipath robot. I don't need Uipath Studio. Studio is just to create and design, but for executing, I need Uipath robot. Three components here in this, or three elements here in this project. We need Uipath robot. We want to know exactly also which automation we want to use to create a batch file. So which automation I want to make it as a batch file. And then also we need to specify all of this information into one text file, and we will convert the text file to a batch file. Let us see how we can do that. So the first thing is I need to go and search about UI robot in my system. I want to know in my system where is Uipath robot. I need to get that file path. And then after that I will go to my project file, which was training 2020. And then I will go and I will pick the file which is related to a certain automation I want to use it for a batch file. And then I will put all of these file path into a text file. Let us demonstrate and see how we can create a batch file, which is very simple. But first step is to go and try to see where is Uipath robot available in my system. For that we need to go to app data, local, and then we will go to Uipath folder. And then after that what happened is we have here some folders starting with app. Click on it, and then after that scroll down. You are going to get Uipath robot. Right click on it, go to security. This is actually what we need. We need the full file path for the UI robot. This is one of the requirements. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create a new text file. We'll call it demo, and then we will put all of this information inside. So this demo file is actually going to have all of this information inside. I'm going to copy the file path, and I need to put it between quotation. I need to put the file path between quotation. This is the first step to create a batch file for Uipath. So we need to have the Uipath robot file path between quotation in a text file. And then after that what we will do is we are going to use a command which is -file or -file. And then after that I'm going to specify between quotation also, I'm going to specify my automation project file path. So to go to that project file path, we need to go to my document, and then in my document we will have Uipath. You will have Uipath folder, and then here we have training 2020. This is the folder which is containing all the demonstration which I've been doing in this course. If I will click on Training 2020, I have here all the files for all of my demonstrations. And as you can see, it is ending with XAML. It's ending with XAML. Now I need to pick one of these automations which I want to convert into a batch file. I am going to pick the last one, which is actually adding and removing columns and rows. I'm just going to get that file path. I will get a file. I'm going to put it also between quotation. As you can see, I'm going to put the file path. So again, let me explain. The first part is what is my Uipath robot, which is actually going to handle the execution. So I went there and I got the file path, and then I have used this command, which is -file, and then after that, between also quotation, I have highlighted the file which I want to use for this batch file, the automation file, which is .xaml. So this file is actually containing adding and removing rows and columns. So a new column will be added, and one of the rows is going to be deleted, which is the second row, as per our demonstration which we have explained before. Let us save, and then after that, what I need to do, I need to save as, and then I'm going to choose, instead of text, instead of txt, I'm going to use pat, and then hit enter, close, go to your file, which is demo. This is our file, demo.pat. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to close my Uipath. I will close it, and we will see if the demonstration will start even though the Uipath Studio is closed. And for that, what is going to happen here, I'm going to have a new column which is going to be added, and this row, which is Ali, which is the second ID, is going to be deleted as per my automation. Let us hit click, enter. Let us apply this batch file. So as you can see, it is running. There is no any error, there is no any message, so that means everything is okay. Let me go to data file which we have actually used before. As you can see, a new column was added, and Ali row, it was deleted. So the automation was successfully executed using a batch file. So in this demonstration, we have learned how to create a batch file which can actually execute a certain automation without running Uipath Studio.